Last episode, we saw how Burt was tailing Irv, looking to get information on why this man was knocking on his door in the middle of the night. After finding out the two work for Lumon, Irv was invited over to dinner. Burt's home is rather odd, from this strange clown painting to the largest collection of pepper shakers I've ever seen. And this is just the icing on the cake of all the weird stuff we'll learn. First is Burt and Field's nickname for one another, Attila, which also happens to be the title of this episode. Instead of calling each other Hun, they changed it to Attila, as in Attila the Hun, the 5th century warlord. It's an interesting pet name for two men who appear to be God-fearing, since Attila's nickname was Scourge of God. Fields jokes that Burt is a Philistine, or someone who doesn't have much love or understanding of the arts. This is in contrast to Burt's Innie, who had a profound appreciation for art, and it's one of the things he and Irv bonded over. We also have mention of the Whole Mind Collective, an anti-Lumon group we saw briefly in Season 1. Apparently they once tossed red paint on Irv on his way home from work. But it's this conversation about heaven and hell that has me the most intrigued. Burt was apparently a scoundrel in his younger days. We never learn how bad of a scoundrel he was, but it's enough for him to question whether he'll spend eternity in hell. So he and Fields hopped a train to get to church, which I found very odd. I mean, who takes a train to get to church? By the way, you can hear a train in the background of Irv's apartment before Drummond breaks in. It just so happens at church there was a sermon discussing this very topic. Fields even states it's as if the pastor was, quote, listening to our conversation. This screams Lumon interference. According to Fields, the church's position is,
so an innie can go to heaven.
Once the outie burns.
This is what caused Burt to get severed. His outie will burn in hell while his innie is in heaven. If that isn't a grim metaphor for Severance, I don't know what is. The goal here is that Fields and Innie Burt would be reunited in heaven, but there's a problem. Innie Burt wouldn't know Fields in heaven, but he would know Irv. There's also this discrepancy of when Burt was severed, which raises a ton of red flags. Fields says Burt was severed 20 years ago, but the first severed office only opened 12. I don't think Fields was drunk and misremembered. There must be something deeper.